Hello, welcome to Bosom with Cousin Talk, connecting with locals. We got a great show planned. Hope everybody's doing good. But before I start, I'd like to thank all those courageous firefighters out there that are risking their lives for us. Thank you so much. Thank you all the volunteers, all the community workers going out there with water, sandwiches, trucks, helping out, keeping us safe. Thank you. Thank you, frontliners of the COVID-19 frontliners. Thank you. Thank you, field workers working in the fields during the pandemic, during all this smoke, just so we could have food on the table. Thank you so much. I just want to say the Monterey Peninsula lost someone in the music community. This guy was a good man, a good father. This guy lit up a room when he walked in. He did a lot for the community. His name was Troy O'Shawn, and we're really going to miss this guy on the Monterey Peninsula. Okay, so let's get started with this show today. We got a good one. Our first guest is on the crew of the Golden State Warriors. Please welcome James Kincaid.
Johnny, thank you so much.
Welcome to the show.
I appreciate you having me on. It's great to see your face. I love what you're doing, and I just have to echo your sentiment right off the top there in terms of thanking the courageous firefighters and everything that we got going on. 2020 has we're kind of doing the rope-a-dope right now. We're just taking everything 2020 can dish out on us, and hopefully we'll be still standing. Then we can just do the whole blow it over with a feather thing and come out on top. But thank you so much for having me on. It's been too long.
It's been too long. We got to stay connected. James, you grew up in Pacific Grove, right?
That's right. Yep. Pacific Grove High, class of 04.
Oh man, that's great. Go Breakers.
Yeah, absolutely.
James, so has broadcasting always been a dream, or how did this happen? I mean, how did it happen?
So, yes, I would say that, from a pretty early age, broadcasting was always a dream of mine to get into. I grew up loving the power of radio in particular, even more so than TV. I just loved how personal, the radio could be, whether it was being in the car with a person or in their office or wherever, that you could be cooking dinner and listening to the radio and still I just was always enthralled by that. I've always been an old soul. I grew up listening to the old Shadow radio pulp series and stuff like that growing up. I just was always enthralled with that. I always loved sports. And so, when athletic ability at an early age started to sort of slip away from me, I still knew that I wanted to be involved in some manner or fashion. And so broadcasting was always my dream. Probably since middle school or freshman year of high school, I knew that I wanted to do something in broadcasting. So I pursued that, went to San Francisco State University, got my degree, and then, came back to Monterey, did a stint down there with you, which was so much fun. And I reminisce fondly about those days. So, but yeah, then I got hooked up with, into the Golden State Warriors.
That's really great. Yeah. I remember my era growing up, everything was radio.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, there's times when, even a few years back during the Super Bowl, everybody's got 80-inch screens and all that. And I'm in the Sillamar, pulled over, overlooking the water at the Sillamar, listening to it on the radio, the Super Bowl. And here come the Chiefs with the red uniforms, the red helmets. Yeah.
There is a power in radio and the painting the picture and the theater of the mind kind of deal that if you get it, it encapsulates you.
So I love it. A lot of times I'll turn the TV on and listen to the radio broadcast.
Yeah. Mute the TV and have the radio on is how I often do it as well.
Did you where did you work before the Warriors?
So I got my start in broadcasting, really well. So I started broadcasting while I was still at SF State, and that's really when the podcasting boom started. So I started doing that stuff there, and then I came down to Monterey, and while I was there, I reached out to a friend of mine. He actually just got married the other day, and he was working at KMBR 680, the sports leader, which is the radio station I grew up listening to for sports, growing up in Pacific Grove. And so I reached out to him, and he put me in touch with management there. And so I got a job with KMBR several years back. And that was really sort of the start of the climb for me, working graveyard shifts there, entry level, and working my way up to eventually become a producer and then a sports update guy there. And it was through KMBR that the Warriors noticed me. And then for a while there, I was doing both, and then was doing both full time, which was a Herculean sort of undertaking, but made it work, and it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, so I got my start really at KMBR, and then from there got hooked up with the Warriors, which has been a dream come true.
Now, are you on? Do you travel with the team? Are you on court side, or what's the?
So I have traveled. I'll tell you my favorite travel story with the Golden State Warriors. I'll tell you a couple of them. So, gosh, I guess this was a few years ago now. It's crazy how quickly time goes. But we went to China for preseason, and so I went overseas with them. With the team on the private jet and the whole deal to China. So we landed in Shenzhen. So we spent time in Shenzhen, China. We went to Hong Kong and Shanghai, and we played a couple preseason games against the Timberwolves over there. And it was an unbelievable trip. I mean, it just was fun. Yeah, exactly.
What a thrill.
I never in my life thought that I would end up in China at all, let alone the manner of which that I ended up going, which was, in style and profile. With the Golden State Warriors, it just was, it's like I can never go back now because it wouldn't be the same. You know what I mean? And it was just so much fun and such a great bonding experience with all those guys and everything. And it was a really cool reminder for I think all of us, for people on the broadcast side and the other departments, that we have a pretty cool job, because I'll tell this quick story. It's when Kevin Durant was still on the team and we were in China. And, a Chinese citizen was in the elevator with us, and Kevin got out on his floor, and I was still waiting to go up to mine. And the Chinese citizen looks at me, he's like, was that Kevin Durant? I was like, yeah, it was. He's like, and you work with him? I was like, yeah, I do. And he just started like almost having an out of body experience, like amazing. And it was a cool reminder. I can't, go into the hotel, they would be lined up outside of our hotel waiting for the team to get off. And I can only imagine their disappointment when I get off the bus and everything like that. They're waiting to see Steph Curry and Clay and Draymond and Kevin Durant, and, Jimbo gets off the bus. But it was a cool experience. Hong Kong was beautiful too. Kowloon Bay, that was a really fun one. And I did travel to Toronto for the last finals, and I know we came up short against them, but what an amazing city Toronto was too. And that was really cool.
Great fans.
Yeah, great fans, very nice people. They were really good to us and everything. Great food up there too. I'll tell a quick story about that one. So it's game 5. And we need to win. Kevin Durant comes back. He gets hurt again. Yeah. It was a roller coaster of emotions.
It was.
And I'm waiting outside the Warriors locker room, because part of my job is to go to the locker room after the game and help facilitate player interviews, get those, recorded and done and everything like that. Sometimes I'm sort of the de facto locker room Mean Gene Okerlund, as it were. But I'm waiting outside there, and there's so lots of local media there. And we're outside the locker room. We can't see the court or anything. And so I take my phone and I turn on our radio broadcast, and we make this amazing comeback. Tim Roy, who is the voice of the Warriors, his radio call from that game 5 win, I think might be my favorite ever. I had tears in my eyes, because the backdrop to this whole thing is we have to win to not only stay in the finals, but we had to win to force one more game at the historic Oracle Arena.
Oh, yeah.
So we come back and win that game, and Tim Roy, through his beautiful word painting that he, is creating, says, "Keep the lights on at Oracle, dust those seats off. That old barn's got one more dance." And I kid you not, like, I had goosebumps running up my arms. I had tears in my eyes, and I'm just holding this up for all the local media, and they're loving every second of it. So that was a pretty cool experience, I gotta say.
So James, you've been there how many years now?
So I started with them in the 2014-2015 season. So all of the success, it's all me.
Let me ask you, did you get a ring?
I'm wearing one just for you, Johnny.
I love it. Beautiful.
So I've got 3 rings in my time with the Golden State Warriors, which, I'll never forget. They're all, it's nothing that I have done. It's all just these great magnanimous gestures from the team to even give employees these wonderful championship rings and everything like that. But how much, working with you, how much I love sports. And, the first time I got it, and I didn't expect it or anything like that, but when I found out, because it was my first season, we won our first championship in my first season with the team. Yeah. And I felt like the kid in Almost Famous. Like, it was so surreal that happened. And I remember going into the office to pick it, to get it. And it's got my name on the front, and then on the side it has it's got the last name on the side. And it was so emotional for me, because it's like, that's my family name on a very cool piece of sports history that we'll have in our family, hopefully forever, and it just took me back to when I was a little kid talking sports with my dad and everything, so it's been a crazy, just amazing run,
That's just fantastic. What do you tell me about this new Chase Center? What's that like?
They did a phenomenal job on Chase Center. It is such a state-of-the-art, beautiful building, and it's in San Francisco proper. It's in a great location in the Mission Bay and everything like that, and it is, already, obviously with the pandemic and stuff and not being able to hold events there now. But, we opened it up with Metallica and the San Francisco Symphony, and it's a phenomenal sports venue, and it's a phenomenal concert venue. And, I'm sure we'll touch on my love of pro wrestling and my work in that too. Yeah. But I think my favorite Chase Center memory thus far was when WWE came to town, because they were there for 2 back-to-back days. So they took up some of our conference room space to have meeting rooms and everything. Yeah. So I'm just cruising around work, seeing all these wrestlers and stuff like that. And, Shane McMahon and stuff. I'm like, wow, this is great. Wow. So they did a really great job on Chase.
Disneyland over there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and there definitely is some sort of Disneyland type things that we try and emulate in terms of customer service and making sure that everyone that comes to Chase Center has a really first-class, wonderful experience. And I think they really nailed that.
How far is that from the Giants Stadium? Is it?
Oh, probably about a 10-minute walk, I'd say.
Oh, no. Wow, they got some nice restaurants there.
Yeah, it's a really cool up-and-coming part of town. Yeah. So, when this whole thing is done with, it's gonna be going like gangbusters down there for sure.
I can't wait to go. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
How does the team look next year, James? How do they look?
I'm very excited. Obviously this year didn't go how anybody wanted it to go. A lot of injuries. Yeah, after 5 straight finals, obviously we were just physically and emotionally exhausted for sure. I think that extends to even people in my position, just that the amount of investment that you have going through it. But, with the Game 6, that when we lost to Toronto was sort of insult to injury, because not only do we lose the finals, but maybe, one of the most durable superstars in the league, and Klay Thompson, gets hurt and is, missed all of last year. So that was really, sort of, and then, Steph got hurt early this season and everything like that. But looking toward next year, we're gonna have the core group back with Steph, Klay, and Draymond, and we added Andrew Wiggins, and now we have this draft pick that who knows what we're gonna do with that. But I think I'm very heartened by I think what next year will be. I think Warriors fans are going to be very, very impressed with what they see.
I like Wiggins. I really.
Yeah, he's fit. He's before the shutdown, he fit in great and played really, really well. So yeah. I like I have a very positive outlook on next year for the Golden State Warriors.
I like the way that the NBA, they created that bubble. I mean, that was really a smart thing to do, like have everybody play just in that one area.
Yeah, and that has been a great success as well. The NBA, they took the time. They didn't rush into any decision. They took the time to figure out how best to do things, and no positive coronavirus tests. You look at the MLB restart, and that's been an issue, but not in the NBA. And they've put out a really compelling playoff so far. It's been very exciting.
It's not. They really do a good job.
Yeah.
That Adam Silver, yeah. Oh, that sounds great. James, I don't want to take too much more of your time, but I want to talk about the other thing that you're involved with, pro wrestling.
Yes.
So you're an announcer, or?
So I do a couple things in pro wrestling, and I think other than I'm super passionate about professional wrestling, and I think because sometimes it gets a bad rap, it might be what I am most passionate about, because I'm always sort of defending and propping it up kind of deal. But I do play-by-play commentary for All Pro Wrestling, which is one of the big local promotions in San Francisco. Obviously, that's gone on hiatus.
Yeah. Where do they train and where do they perform?
So they perform all over, mostly the San Francisco Bay Area, like San Francisco, Daly City, Pacifica is kind of their hub for things like that. And, they have a training center and everything. Obviously that's on hiatus because of the pandemic. But we're, I actually just talked with the promoter the other day about, things that we want to get going, and we're very excited for when we're able to have shows again. And then also there's a promotion called Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and I host on ABC7. We have a syndicated wrestling show that takes their wrestling and we repurpose it for the Bay Area. So I'm the in-studio host for that, along with the wrestler Levi Shapiro.
I've heard you in action. Great.
Yeah, and we were doing that out of the San Francisco State University studios, which was really cool because it was me being able to give back to these kids, because we were essentially letting them be our interns and sort of shoot the show and get real life TV experience for KGO, which is, obviously a legacy TV station and all this stuff. But, since the shutdown, I just do it out of my house. This backdrop that you see right here is usually how I shoot it. And I just, I love it. I introduce the show and I remind everyone to wear their mask and be safe and be good to one another. And yeah, I love doing it. And I just can't wait until we all get through it and we can have fans again and sort of get back to normal,
Can we watch All Pro how do we watch it on YouTube?
So All Pro Wrestling will put their stuff on YouTube, and I think we'll be doing a couple of different things when we do come back. Maybe some different distribution kind of deals, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. For Championship Wrestling, if you don't, you can watch on ABC7 late Saturday night. Or if you miss it, you can catch it on YouTube. Just type in Championship Wrestling, presented by West Coast Pro Wrestling, which is another promotion here. Okay. And then you can
keep me posted on that. I'm interested.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. James, I really appreciate you coming on, and it's great to reconnecting with you after all these years. And I really appreciate you buzzing with Cousin. And before you leave, there's someone here that wants to say hello to you.
Oh, here we go.
Let me tell you something, James Kincaid. You tell those guys at All Pro Wrestling that Cousin is going to be back. You hear me, James Kincaid?
I love it. The Masked Cousin. I would be honored to call a match with the Cousin.
I'm back.
I love it. Johnny, thank you so much. This made my week.
James, well, great to see you. And,
always a pleasure.
Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.
You too.
Okay, that was great. That was really fun. Okay, we're gonna move along here. We're gonna get right before we get to our second guest. We're gonna do a shout out for a long time seaside restaurant, the Breakfast Club, 1130 Fremont Boulevard, serving from 7 to 2. They got a beautiful outdoor patio now. It's really great. You get a nice big breakfast, great lunch, and you will not leave hungry. Call 394-3238 if you want to get something to go. And when you're there, you tell them cousin sent you. Okay, thank you. Okay, our second guest. Let me introduce you to the second guest. He's the chairman of the Monterey Rock and Rod Fest. Terry Wecker, welcome to the show.
All right, fantastic. Hey, Cuz, good to see you again.
Great to see you, Terry. Always great to see you.
At least I got to meet another Jimbo. The other Jimbo I knew was Jim Lesage. We called him Jimbo, so now I get to meet his cousin. Okay.
So the Rock and Rod is a benefit fundraiser for the Gateway Center. What's the Gateway Center, and how did you get involved with it?
Well, Gateway Center, once again, where Jimbo was from, was Pacific Grove, and actually the history on Gateway Center of Monterey County, Inc., which is a non-profit organization or not-for-profit organization that has been assisting adults with intellectual disabilities since 1963. And I had one of my brothers, we had a large family, there's 7 of us, but the number 6 on the list went ahead and was born in 1958 and with Down syndrome. So my dad was taking him to, as he was growing up, to Gladys Stone School over in Seaside, Upper Hilby, up there when we're getting close to Fort Ord. And he got together with that organization, and they decided they were looking at selling the building, the land. And so my dad saw that as an opportunity for expansion, for assistance, and went ahead and got together with some fellow parents that had children also there at Gladys Stone. And they went ahead and bought the building, the land, to keep things going, and came up with a name which was Gateway Center of Monterey County.
Wow, that's great. That's really great.
They kept that day facility open until another opportunity came their way, which was in the early 1990s. And they were approached about an opportunity over in Pacific Grove at 850 Congress to purchase a large building that at the time was taking care of people with mental illness. And it had over 150 bed capacity. Gateway Center went ahead and started off and had almost 125 or 130 folks in that facility at that time, as a not only a daycare facility, but also as residential. The state of California, along with the regional center out of San Jose, went ahead and said no more institutions. So Gateway Center had to downsize. At that time, they had the facility in Pacific Grove, and they had 3 group homes. So they went ahead and held on to the group homes, but took that facility and turned it into 2 15-bed facilities. So because they say anything over 15 beds is an institution, which they were cutting out. So we take care of 30 individuals over at 850 Congress for ICF, intermediary care facilities, 2 of them. And then we do have 2 existing group homes, one on Forest Hill and one over in Marina on Rheindaler. We also have a residential facility that we run over in Salinas, right off of South Main on San Jose. And so that's our day facilities. We do this Monterey Rock and Rod Festival as a major fundraiser and recognition for Gateway Center. Yep. This would have been our 14th year
a
of
good
fundraising and supplying the recognition for Gateway Center. But we got hit like everybody else with the COVID-19 issue.
next year
And
it'll come
that
back
thing,
strong.
which was, it was scheduled for June the 19th and 20th, and we had to go ahead and cancel. So we grabbed a date in August. We said we're going to try for Big Car Week, which is August 14th and 15th, last week, right? And we went ahead and we decided, all right, we're going to shoot for that date. That came and gone. They got a hold of us a number of weeks before our event and went ahead and said that we're going to have to cancel that also. So once again, they don't like the big gatherings. They'll allow, 10 people, 20 people in some cases, but certainly our event draws a lot more than that and has throughout the years. So
it's a great event. It's an oldies, like an oldies car event. What are the cars? 1972. What's the limit?
19. Well, we've got it up to 1975 and older cars. Okay. So, and that's pretty much it. We don't want to get two new cars involved in that. We want to keep it as a classic car show. We want to go ahead and keep it with oldies music. Okay.
Right. It's great. Yeah.
And I think if you
a plaza, right? They do it at the plaza.
We do it at the plaza, but we do a kickoff party, which used to be at the fairgrounds. We outgrew it actually in the Monterey room. So we moved it to General Stillwell Hall in Seaside, which holds 500. So that's worked out really well for us. We were there last year. We were booked again to have it this year. Unfortunately, we had to pull the plug. That was our Friday night kickoff party, the sock hop. And we were going to have special guest. Brian Hyland was going to be there, Sealed with a Kiss, and all his great songs, Gypsy Woman, and so on and so forth, was going to be there. A little meet and greet, maybe get up and sing a song. We do a live auction. We do a silent auction. Lots of dancing. Carmel Valley Kiwanis puts on the barbecue for us. They give us all the proceeds, net proceeds for that. So it's a big fundraiser for Gateway. We make a lot of money Friday night. And of course, the car people on Saturday down in the Custom House Plaza, and all the activities and things that happen both Friday and Saturday, all those together, we were able to go ahead and give Gateway over $30,000. Wow, and that's really critical to making their programs exist.
Terry,
because it's going to be missed this year. So being on your show, and perhaps guiding some people into making some donations to Gateway to go ahead and offset that loss would be great. And I can share some websites with you if you'd like.
Before we leave, we'll share some websites.
That'd be great.
And, I've entered my car, and I've been to quite a few. I think I've only missed, one or so. But anyway, that's what you call a feel-good event.
That's a real good feel-good event.
Everybody's laughing. Everybody's having a great time. And Terry, what are some of the bands that you've had over the years?
Wow.
Some of the
once again, this would have been our 14th year. We would have had Brian Hyland, but everybody is carrying over to next year. So Brian is on for next year. He'll be once again at that Friday night sock hop kickoff party. He'll meet people. He'll go ahead and sing a song. He's looking forward to being there. He'll also be the headliner for the Monterey Rock and Rod Festival down in the Custom House Plaza. That's scheduled for the 18th and 19th of June, 2021.
Okay.
Last year, in our 13th event, we had the Greg Kinn Band. He rocked the house. Absolutely fabulous.
That was one of the best shows you've had. Yeah.
Thank you very much. The year before that, Johnny, we had Big Brother and the Holding Company.
Yeah.
With Darby Gold doing Janice, and she was absolutely fantastic. And
Johnny Rivers, remember, was your first.
Johnny Rivers was year one.
Year one.
Yeah.
Johnny Rivers, I remember. Little Anthony and the Imperials.
Year two. And of course, we went ahead and we decided that we were going to go ahead and do a lot of special things in year two. And we certainly did. And we had Ricky Nelson's twin sons, Matthew and Gunnar Nelson, opened up for Little Anthony and the Imperials. So it was just absolutely fabulous.
And,
We-
you got what, the best Elvis impersonator in California or in the world? Or
Well, he's his rankings put him right around third in the world as far as Elvis impersonators in competition in Las Vegas, and that's Jeremy Elvis Pierce and the Memphis Sons. And he's from Fresno, and he is a wonderful gentleman. He started off at a young age impersonating Elvis, buying Elvis memorabilia, and just was a great Elvis fan, and turned out now as one of the best Elvis impersonators in the world, and does a fantastic job. Large crowds. He is one that we've utilized to open for our headliner.
he's identical. I mean, he looks all
He
everything.
looks, he sounds,
mannerisms, everything is like identical to it.
all of the outfits that he puts on. Okay, because he'll put on a different one for the Sock Hop Friday night than he does downtown Monterey for his show there. But he uses the same seamster, okay, that Elvis had. So all the uniforms are exactly what Elvis would have worn. Okay, same guy.
That's really great. Yeah.
But you've seen Flo and Eddie, the Turtles, Jay and the Americans, Felix Cavalier and the Rascals.
That was a good show. How about Mitch Ryder?
How about Mitch Ryder?
Oh, it was good.
He's fantastic.
The guy looked like he was 20 years old. I mean, he didn't look like he was, what, 70, 80 years
incredible.
old.
Ron Dante.
Yeah.
You know, Terry Sylvester of the Hollies. Ron Dante, you know. Just some of these guys are fantastic. I think I like Felix. I think that Hammond B. Organ, the songs hit after hit after hit was fantastic. Gary Lewis and the Playboys.
Yeah, I remember that.
Love him. You know, Jerry's son. He's still performing, still looking good.
Yeah.
But don't forget, we've had opening acts for all of these folks, and a lot of the opening acts were really great people.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just how about Denny Lane? Denny Lane with Moody Blues and Wings. You know.
Yeah. Coming out now next year, everything's going to be strong. What's your lineup next year?
Well, next year is going to be we're going to start off with a group called the Lost and Found Band, and they're a local group here in Monterey, and they're going to blow everybody away. These guys are just absolutely fabulous. So once again, there's not a lot of entertainment happening because of COVID-19. We're going to have this show in June. Feel confident on it. It's going to be a big show. But those guys are going to start off. Then we're going to bring in our Lost High Tops. We're going to come in and do some rockabilly and surfabilly, and
those guys, yeah.
And they're
stand-up bass.
Fantastic. Stand-up bass. Chantilly Lace will get up there and sing some songs, and everybody's got to love her.
She's
and then we're bringing in
the granddaughter of who was.
That's right.
Can't think right now, but
what his name was. Yeah, great artist, but and she's a great artist on her own. She really is. So she's fantastic with that group.
Vincent. She's a granddaughter.
That's right. Vincent. That's right. That's right. He's great artist. Great artist.
Rockabilly. Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. But we've got this group, which is called Tommy C. and the Black Widow Band out of Los Angeles, that is going to come in and knock everybody's shorts off. They're just absolutely fantastic. So they'll be coming in, and what we're going to do with them is they'll go ahead and open up for Elvis, and Elvis, of course, will open up for Brian Hyland. Okay. So this year, the way it was, because Elvis had a gig in Fresno, so he had to leave early. So these guys were actually going to open up for Brian Hyland, Tommy C. and the Black Widow Band. But anyway, we got great artists that are going to be there. We've also got Catherine Levine, and she's a young lady from Pacific Grove again, and she plays in a band with her parents and uncle.
Oh yeah, she's really great.
She's really talented. She's going to be performing at the Sock Cup this cup next year for us. She'll really open up. She'll open up for the Yard Dogs. Okay.
Then you also have a sister show that you do called Rods on the Wharf.
Rods on the Wharf. That was scheduled for October 25th, Sunday, And once again, we got the phone call and said it's been canceled. So once again, it's a letdown. That's a show that's been sponsored by Chris Shake of Old Fisherman's Grotto. This year would have been our 19th year. And we were certainly looking forward to next year celebrating the 20th. But now it's going to be the 19th again. Okay. But that's all right. That's all right. It's going to be a good show.
Shout out to Chris Shake that he
Boy.
always donates and always he's great, a great community man. We're lucky.
He's a great community man, and he's got a lot of good restaurants, and I encourage everybody to go ahead and patronize Old Fisherman's Grotto, Scales, Fish Hopper.
Speaking of Old Fisherman's Grotto, he's got a beautiful outdoor patio now.
That's what I understand, Johnny.
He's got an awning, and the tables are in there, and it looks like it's been there 100 years. It's great. I mean,
I think so.
You've got it set up great, and the whole wharf is set up great. But Terry, what you do with that Gateway Center, that's unbelievable, and we thank you so much for that, what you do. I mean, you got
Thanks,
a big
John.
heart, my friend. And thank you for bringing that Rock and Rod Fest to Monterey, because it's one of the top events in Monterey to go to. And it's that, if you guys have never been, go. Buy a drink, buy a raffle ticket, and donate to this great cause. And bring your Letterman sweater and bring your dancing shoes.
Oh, boy.
It's on. And Terry, let us know how to donate to the Gateway.
You can go on MontereyRockRod.com, and that'll open up our website, and you're going to see Cousin right there up on the top in that website as it opens up. And as I mentioned, he's the one that goes to the sock hop, dresses like he's out there coming up to your car, and he's going to go ahead and hand you your tray, put it on your car, go ahead and give you the hamburger and cupcake, right? French fries. But you're going to love that. You can go on that, and you can scroll down to the bottom, and it'll put donate to Gateway Center. Click on that. Goes right on Gateway Center's donation website, and you can make a donation right then and there. I encourage you also, right next to that link, to go ahead and it says, click here after you've made that to let Terry know that you donated. And I appreciate it. I'll send you off a personal thank you, and certainly Gateway will also do the same thing.
Okay.
You can also go to Gateway Center Direct if you'd like. But I won't know about it, so I won't be able to go ahead and thank you personally. But you can go to gatewaycenter.org, and you'll go to their website, and they have a spot in there. You'll click on up at their website where it says donation, and make a donation direct to Gateway, and check out their website in addition to MontereyRockandRod.com.
And then if a guy wants to enter a car, then that'll be in that same.
It's in there right now. Those links are taken down because we don't want people to register for a show. We haven't put our link up yet, our information up yet for 2021, but we'll certainly, right as we get close, and it looks like everything is going away, which I'm sure it is. We need that vaccine real bad. We know that, but I'm thinking right at the beginning of 2021, January, New Year's hits. I think we're going to take a close look and see where we're at, and go ahead and perhaps get that up and running so people can register. Everybody that registered this past year, and once again, we had to pull the plug on it, and we did, but we had already 62 cars registered for it. So all those folks will be registered for 2021.
So same thing. About 150 cars.
We like to go ahead and keep it right around 150. Usually we end up with a few more than that, but 150 fits in that plaza comfortably. Yeah, we have our vendors. We have about 25 to 30 merchandise vendors that are in the upper plaza by the bocce ball courts. Down below, we have Carmel Valley Kiwanis put on the bar for those that wish to indulge, and we also have a couple of food vendors there. We don't want to take away from the wharf. We like to encourage people to go down there. But
go down and take advantage, have lunch.
have lunch, whatever they want to do. But for those that don't want to leave their car, for those that don't want to miss the entertainment, we have the food available for them. So it makes it really nice.
Yeah.
It really does. But we're looking forward to 2021. Car people, there haven't been any car shows. Everything got canceled across the board.
For a car show, we're really.
Everybody's hungry for one. They want to show their car. They want to get it out. You know, those cars are made to drive, and you got to get them out and you got to show them. And if they're just sitting in the garage, they're not doing anybody any good.
Well, Terry, I'm confident that we're gonna be on a roll next year. Everything's coming back. The Jazz Festival,
Everything.
Everything's back.
Exactly.
I want to tell everybody, if you want to donate and you forget what Terry just got done saying, get a hold of me and I'll get a hold of Terry if you want to donate. Buzzing with Cousin. So Terry, I really appreciate you coming on to the show today and buzzing with Cousin. And thank you so much for what you do in the community. And I like the poster you got in the back there. The rock
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Thank you so much, Terry.
Got it, John. All right. You take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Rock and Rod Fest. Oldies car show, oldies music. It's fun. Get a drink, dance, relax, buy a raffle ticket. It all goes to the Gateway Center. But anyway, I really appreciate everybody that tuned in today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back September 8th, 2 weeks, on a Tuesday at 1 o'clock with two more great guests. And before I go, I want to thank my bro Mario Buzo for donating this T-shirt. And I'd like to thank Chris Johnson for helping me with the technical stuff here on this show, which buttons to push, which buttons not to push, and whatever. But thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe and have a great day. Bye.